Peace. This is White Raptor News Ministries. Welcome to all the new subscribers. I'd like to let you know that this is a spiritual channel. We are on a train that's heading to the narrow path. On this channel, I read the entire Bible. Okay, I don't exclude anything. The Bible says that you are to read this Bible in the entirety. If you're reading a Bible in the entirety, then it means both the Old and the New Testament. We're here at vengeance on the Midianites. And I want to share with people the understanding that the very first commandment says, "Thou shalt worship no other gods before me," or "have no other gods before me." Okay? You shall not make any graven images of anything that is in heaven below, or heaven above, the earth beneath, or the waters below. Okay? You're not to do these things. So I need everybody to understand that when I speak of the Supreme Creator, I am speaking of a place of pure love, not this plane of existence where you have a two-faced love. Love is temporary among relationships on this plane of existence. It's not a complete eternal love. Divorce has run rampant. This land has fallen into depravity. Parents have no parenting skills. They've let children go without any kind of discipline. The rod has been spared. The children have become spoiled. You can see the effects of it on the internet today. We have to grab hold of what's taking place to the reality and figure it out. You are living in an illusion. This world is a fantasy world. It's a two-faced God. So pay attention to the lessons. The Lord said to Moses, "Take vengeance on the Midianites for the Israelites. After that, you'll be gathered to your people." Again, vengeance is the Lord's, as we've been taught, right? Pay attention, man, because the Lord's definition is the God of Israel, self-existing, eternal, okay? A God that is self-existing and eternal has no beginning or end. But I know that as well that there are other gods that have found a way somehow to bend the fabric of life and control a host system. And when you're born into this plane of existence, you become just that, a slave. Your host body is a slave. Okay? So Moses said to the people, "Arm some of your men to go to war against the Midianites so that they may carry out the Lord's vengeance on them. Send them into battle, 1,000 men from each of the tribes of Israel." So 12,000 men armed for battle, 1,000 from each tribe, were supplied from the clans of Israel. Moses sent them into battle, 1,000 from each tribe, along with the Phinehas. Am I pronouncing that right? Phinehas, son of Eleazar, the priest, who took with him articles from the sanctuary and the trumpets for signaling. They fought against the Midian as the Lord commanded Moses and killed every man. Among their victims were Evi, Rechem, Zur, Hur, and Reba, the 5 kings of Midian. They also killed Balaam, son of Beor, with the sword. The Israelites captured the Midianite women and children and took all the Midianite herds, flocks, and goods as plunder. Okay, if we go back further in the Bible, the Israelites weren't to have anything to do with the Gentile cattle and stuff. There is a difference between the cattle that was brought up by the Israelites and the difference from the cattle that were being brought up from the Gentile. So in taking this plunder as well, I don't know that that would have been proper in the Supreme Spirit's eyes, a God that is all pouring of love. They burned all the towns where the Midianites had settled, as well as all their camps. They took all the plunder and spoils, including the people and animals, and brought the captives, spoils, and plunders to Moses and Eleazar the priest and the Israelite assembly at their camp on the plains of Moab by the Jordan across to Jericho. In other words, they whooped your asses. Okay? So what's odd, though, is even though Israel has whooped their asses, and I mean they handed them their asses, okay? Why today is Israel still in chains and bondage? So if this has all occurred, then we have to be in some kind of simulation where history is repeating itself. It's going over and over and over. And while I'm on that road, I might as well go ahead and say, look, we're at an age, our technology today, where we're cloning people. At least Hollywood has led you to believe we cloned a sheep 50 years ago or so. Okay, if you think that that technology ever halted cloning people 50 years ago, well, they have 50 more years of technology of cloning. I'm pretty sure it's just like these movies. Remember Judge Dredd with Sylvester Stallone? That's about cloning. They're showing us these movies in cloning. Total Recall, another movie on cloning. Sorry about that. My dad just walked in. Okay, so you might, ask yourself that question as well, Moses, Eleazar, the priest, and all the leaders of the community went to meet them outside the camp. Moses was angry with the officers of the army, the commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds who returned from battle. Have you allowed all the women to live? He asked them. They were the ones who followed Balaam's advice and enticed the Israelites to be unfaithful to the Lord in the Peor incident, so that a plague struck the Lord's people. Now kill all the boys and kill every woman who has slept with a man, but save yourselves every girl who has never slept with a man. So you can clearly see that this Lord, this God of the Bible that's speaking about killing every children and every man, then you must understand that he's not killing other human beings, folks. Okay? They're killing beasts. This is what you got to understand. These are something in the creation story. Okay? You got to understand that the Supreme Spirit, the eternal, the self-existing, the almighty, the all you can see, the all you cannot see, the visible, the invisible, the perpetual in motion, the one that exists forever, the one without beginning, the one without end. This is the Supreme Spirit. Okay? He created a host. He created souls. He created a soul. He created billions of souls, everything in harmony. He created one of those souls, a soul, Satan, and many other angels like Satan that rebelled against him. How, if God is perfect, would he have anything? Why would something rebel against God in heaven? Well, the story in other texts, right here, folks. On the sixth day of creation, God, Elohim, an evil Elohim, all right? Evil, plural of Eloah. These gods here are saying that they're other gods, gods mankind, God magistrates, all right? They are all plural. These are the other gods that the Supreme Spirit of Truth is saying, you shall place no other gods before him. So this God here made the beast of the field. You understand? This is not the Supreme Creator. It's something that is used of the Supreme Creator that is creating a beast host system. These are not the same children as God's chosen children, the Hebrew Israelite. A different God made those children of light. Okay? One supreme, later, the second creation in the Bible. So this is why he's ordered them to kill everything, the men and women. These are not humans. That's why. This is why you're in such a curse, is because you have went into the cities of, you began the pagan worship. This is why this order is being given. Okay? The true spirit of life is pure love, pure light. Okay? There is no darkness within the light. Okay? It's that simple. Okay, Moses, Eleazar, the priest, and all the leaders of the community went to meet with them outside the camp. Oh, sorry. I'd already read that. Anyone who has killed someone or touched someone who was killed must stay outside the camp 7 days. Anyone who has killed someone or touched someone who was killed must stay outside the camp for 7 days. A cleansing. You know, all of this, what's really odd to me is we go all the way back to the story. It says, your God, this same God right here, Yahweh, is giving command off of the ark and telling you that by man's hands you shall kill somebody, then your blood shall be spilt by man's hands. So I'm really trying to understand the logic between this God who gives you a command not to kill, and then you have him giving you a command himself to go out and kill. That's a contradiction. If I'm wrong about that, please. I ask questions. I get answers from a friend of mine. I get questions. I ask questions. I'm starting to get answers from people. And I totally appreciate the input. I'm grateful for it. My mind is open to all there is to learn, okay? But in order for me to have come to where I'm at today, I had to close my mind to everything. Now, because my mind was closed and the truth was placed upon me, it allows me to take in more truth, because I know now that the truth and the lie are weaved within one another. The fabric of this reality is two-faced. That's why I say that this God here is a two-faced God. This is why this God here says, go ahead, go into the towns of the Midianites and destroy all the men, women, and children, kill them, slay them, tear them all up, and then be right coming off the ark about 80 chapters back or so, 90 chapters back, we're being told that if you kill somebody, then by man's hands your own blood will be shed. So that's pretty questionable right there. Okay. Must stay outside the camp for 7 days. On the third and seventh day, you must purify yourselves and your captives. Well, how can there be any captives if they were to all be killed? Is that question a reasonable question? How can there be captives if they killed everybody in the city, and then the order was given from Moses to kill all the women and kill all of the children? There shouldn't be any captives. Everything should be wiped out. Doesn't make sense, does it? Purify every garment, as well as everything made of leather, goat hair, or wood. The reason why I say government, purify every government, no, more likely, man, eradicate every government on the face of the earth. Governments are the evil, you understand? I wish people understood that. You can't vote for government officials. If you vote for government officials, you lose your power. Then Eleazar the priest said to the soldiers who had gone into battle, this is what is required by the law that the Lord gave Moses. Gold, silver, bronze, iron, tin, lead, and anything else that can withstand fire must be put through the fire, and then it will be clean. But it's, in other words, purification of sin. Purification of sin must be burned. It's the only way. See, anybody that's going to you got to understand, very few numbers are going to get into the kingdom of heaven. All right? Very few numbers are going to get into the kingdom of heaven. Okay? And then a very few numbers are going to get to be on a new heaven and earth. That is, if a new heaven on earth if this is not a hidden parable, and that we're already experienced and went through this in the new heaven on earth is that at the Vatican, because there's so many secrets, dark secrets, that are being hidden inside of that area right there of the Vatican underneath. You know, the Bible tells you the resting place of Satan. And I would have to argue that and stand by my theology that is somewhere underneath of the Vatican. Why would I say that? Look, check here. Check this out. Take a look at this picture here. Right? What does that look like? Now, some of you might want to say, hey, you know, that kind of looks like a guitar. And I could say, yeah, it does look like a guitar. But that's not what it is. Okay? It's a key. That's the key. And that's the gateway into it. Okay? This is darkness that we're talking about, man. The key to the Vatican, right there. Wasn't this where they used John Wick in the square? I don't think it was this one, but there was another square where John Wick is talking with Winston in a square and the phone rings and everybody stops and looks at John Wick. You remember that scene? Yeah. This is the scene that I'm talking about right here. Okay, I can't play this or I will get a copyright strike. I've got 2 strikes. So I can't play this. But I am going to play a little 5-second clip of it. And I'm going to just move through with you. Okay, John Wick's walking up to Winston right here, right now. Okay, this is him. He's already, he killed somebody on company ground. Notice everybody around in the circle, all right? He comes walking up to Winston. This is Winston now. And John Wick killed one of the people. Okay, there's no captions, damn it. Hold on for a second, 1 second.
You killed a man on company grounds, Jonathan. You leave me no choice but to declare you excommunicado.
So he tells John Wick he's excommunicado because he killed a man on company ground. Just I was telling you. Now, look, here. Let me move forward. Give me a second. Also, Winston tells John Wick right then and there that everything that was open to him has now been closed. So, he's excommunicado, right? I got a point to make here. Please hang on with me. I'd like to just let it play, but I can't. Hold on. Winston just tells him now that his life is just forfeited, and he answers.
Then why am I not dead?
And here is the response to that. And we got to keep this down. We're at 1 minute and 16 seconds. Any clip underneath the 10 seconds is, good for fair use. So this is the reason why.
Because I deemed it not to be.
So Winston nods his head right there, right? Nods his head. Now watch what this guy does. Okay, we're going to mute it. Watch the background there. Mute it. That guy picks up the phone. Everybody in the square stops. And boom, they turn on John Wick. And that's the kind of hive that we live in, man. Boom, it's right in front of your face. This is a real deal here. These are the walking dead. This is the tentacles of Satan, the dirty one. This is how it operates. They all just stand there and stare at him. And then he just gives a nod and everybody goes and does their thing. That's how deep this is. This is scary ass shit. This is real stuff. They're telling you in Hollywood straight up what's happening. Then Eleazar the priest said to the soldiers who had gone into battle, "This is what is required by the law that the Lord gave Moses. Gold, silver, bronze, iron, tin, lead, and anything else that can withstand fire must be put through the fire, and then it will be clean." Sorry, I've already read this once. I'll cut that out. Let's just get on down. Dividing the spoils. The Lord said to Moses, "You and Eleazar, the priest, and the families' heads of the community are to count all the people and animals that were captured." Okay, now what people were captured again? I thought they were all wiped out. They didn't say anything about the animals. Now I can understand the animals being captured, but what people are we talking about being captured? They just wiped them all out. Can somebody answer that for me? That seems like a twisted little part of the story there. Okay? Divide the spoils equally between the soldiers who took part in the battle and the rest of the community. From the soldiers who fought in the battle, set apart as tribute for the Lord 1 out of every 500, whether people, cattle, donkey, or sheep. Take this tribute from their half, share it, and give it to Eleazar the priest as the Lord's part. From the Israelite half, select 1 out of every 50, whether people, cattle, donkeys, sheep, or other animals. Give them to the Levites, who are responsible for the care of the Lord's tabernacle. So Moses and Eleazar, the priest, did as the Lord commanded Moses. The plunder remaining from the spoils that the soldier took was 675,000 sheep, 72,000 cattle, 61,000 donkeys, and 32,000 women who had never slept with. Okay, now the answer to myself. See? Now I see the answer. It's clear. So these are the women who never slept with any of the Israelite men. Well, how would they know? Okay, let's say that but how would they know whether these women slept with Israelite men or not? That's this one, she didn't sleep with them. How do you know? I'd like somebody to answer that one. The half share of those who fought in battle was 337,500 sheep, of which the tribute of the Lord was 675. 36,000 cattle, of which the tribute for the Lord was 72. 30,500 donkey, of which the tribute for the Lord was 61. 16,000 people, of whom the tribute for the Lord was 32. Moses gave the tributes to Eleazar the priest as the Lord's part, as the Lord commanded Moses. The half belonging to the Israelite with Moses set apart of the fighting men, which Moses set apart from that of the fighting men. The community's half was 337,500 sheep, 36,000 cattle, 30,500 donkeys, and 16,000 people. From the Israelites' half, Moses selected 1 out of every 50 people and animals, as the Lord commanded him, and gave them to the Levites, who were responsible for the care of the Lord's tabernacle. Then the officers who were over the units of the army, the commanders of thousands and the commanders of hundreds, went to Moses and said to him, "Your servants have counted the soldiers under our command, and not one is missing. So we have brought as an offering to the Lord the gold articles each of us acquired, armlets, bracelets, signet rings, earrings, and necklaces, to make atonement for ourselves before the Lord." Probably from all that killing that they just did, huh? Moses and Eleazar, the priests, accepted from them the gold, all the craft articles, all the gold from the commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds that Moses and Eleazar presented as a gift to the Lord's weight, 16,750 shekels. Each soldier, look at the word how soldier is spelt, soul dire. The soul dies when you go into battle. Soldiers die, they lose their soul when they go into battle. That's why they're soldiers, they're in dire straits. Each soldier had taken plunder for himself. Moses and Eleazar the priests accepted the gold from the commanders of thousands and the commanders of hundreds and brought it into the tent of meetings as a memorial for the Israelites before the Lord. All praise and glory to the mighty Most High, the Supreme Spirit that moves all things in place. There is nobody like him. This is a spiritual channel, folks. We don't do religion, any kind of religion at this plane of existence. Religion is what's hijacked the Bibles, okay? Evil has hijacked the Bibles. These beasts here that were created on the 6th day of creation are who got a hold of the Bible. When Jesus said, do not give to the swine, this is what he's talking about. The pigs, the beast. Do not give to the beast what is holy. The Bible, your book. Do not give your book, what is holy, to these beasts, because if you go into their towns and they get their hands on the book, then they're going to change the scriptures, and that's exactly what they did. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the living one, the all you can see, the all you cannot see, the visible and invisible, the power, the source, the force that moves all things in place, the perpetual, the always in motion, the thinker, the writer, the author of all things, your life, your creator, the supreme. Give praise and glory to him. He is worthy of it. This is White Raptor News Ministries.